Line up, you f***ing nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. The Money Line. We are live, a beautiful Monday night show. I am AJ, joined as always by my guy Mike Finch, and it's good to be back in studio. I got power back Saturday and did the Fight Companion from here. It was fun last week, though, you know, doing it from the road, mixing it up a little, but man, feels good to be home. Finch, man, what's up? Tell me
what's up, buddy? I'm good over in the neighborhood over here, man. We're staying dry in Huntington Beach, but glad to see you got your power back on. So what is it, a generator or is it the real deal?
No, real deal. I got Wi-Fi power, everything back Saturday afternoon.
Nice, buddy.
Yeah, dude,
good shit.
Good shit. Very happy. I was
glad
losing my mind a little bit.
I told you need that solar roof, bro. Get your game on, man. You got sunshine 360. You know, probably 4 days of the year you got clouds, and the rest is going to be all sunshine. So
that's true.
Go ahead and get the solar roof hooked up.
Solar roof. I need to, bro. I trust in Elon Musk, and I suspect he'll come up with something. I don't know, an upgraded endorsement. Let's go, Musk for the W. Finch, man, we got a weird card coming at us this Saturday, and also we have a Francis Ngannou fight too, which you know, I'm hoping we'll talk about at the end. So lots of fights to get into for this week, but you know, we'd be disappointing if we didn't review last week. But you know what's not a disappointment? Manzi Man's a savage. $5 from the man himself, Manzi Man. Oh. Look at this guy. Bro, this guy's going crazy with donos on the fucking Fight Companion. He's back again. Manzi Man, let's go, buddy.
Thank you, Manzi. Appreciate you, dog. Let's go.
All right, let's talk some UFC Vegas 98. We're going to recap it. I got to start with the main event, Finch. This underdog lock call, I think one of the best picks of the year for me. And I was very grateful to go against the grain and ride it with Royval getting it done. Big plus money tag. Really quality fight, and both guys look nice. I mean, Ferreira, it's not like he lost and you said, oh, he's a bum. They said, okay, he's got to work some striking defensive tactics. We'll say head movement and parrying shots will probably be two beautiful additions to his game. But ultimately, his grappling was really good. And I'll tell you, Finch, watching it live, I was more impressed with him on the ground than I had initially anticipated. He has world-class back control. The body triangle that he brings is insane. And I consider Brandon Royval one of the better grapplers in the flyweight division. Yeah. And to see Tyra have that type of success in multiple moments, I mean, even in the round where Tyra was badly hurt in the third and he lost the round due to damage, at the end, he's finishing with back control. So tons of positive takeaways for Tyra, even in loss. And I guess this actually proved to me Tyra is better than I had anticipated. You know, I went out and picked Raw Dog Royval, but I honestly was blown away with Tyra's grappling control, bro. Like, I am more impressed than lost. A lot of people in my chat were like, yo, I lost faith, fraud check. And I talk shit, right? I do fraud check. We do that for fun. But ultimately, my truest opinion is that Tatsuro Taira at 24 is phenomenal. And can you imagine if he fought a 24-year-old Brandon Royval? Like, look at Royval's evolution at 32. Can you imagine Tyra in 2.5 years? The dude is 1,000% going to fight for a belt at some point, but he has some little deficiencies that I think need to be shored up to optimize his chances against the number 1, number 2, number 3 type guys in the world, which Brandon Royval is. And it's the striking. It's the defensive striking. His offense is fine. It's just he's so damn hittable down the center line. He doesn't move his head. He sits right there. Thankfully, you know, for him, Royval's not a heavy-handed guy. What do you think?
They were trading rounds back and forth. I mean, you know, the one thing that wasn't trading back and forth was the striking. Brandon Royval put a clinic on him on the feet, and on the ground, Tyra is like a magnet to that back. He does an awesome job with the deep hook. He really understands cross body rides. You saw him use that power half, that same one you see Gordon Ryan using at the highest levels of competitive jiu-jitsu. And, you know, we see really high level grappling when we're watching Taira, this young 24-year-old kid. So, it didn't surprise me that he got to his back. What did surprise me was how much it was one-way traffic on the feet, and there's a lot of evolution that needs to take place. But what was cool? Brandon Royval afterwards was giving him props, saying, I want to train with this kid. I want to help him reach the top. It's awesome to hear, and I think he genuinely means that, and it'd be pretty cool to see the two train together, because with Taira, you could obviously see what it is. He's got to slip. He's got to bob and weave. He's got to move his head. He's got to bend his knees. He's got to relax his hands a little bit, snap that jab out there, open up with the kicks a little bit, because people probably aren't going to try to take the kid down. So he could let his legs go more. He could do more things. You can give him a lot of, evolution on the feet. But one thing that I hope always stays is that kid is a tremendous backpacker. He'll get to the back of anybody in the division. Off air, AJ and I were talking, and you made mention of how a potential matchup with the champ would go. And I agree with your assessment. I think Taira is a really tough matchup for people. So Taira will bounce back. Sick fight. I mean, one of the best fights we've seen all year. That was incredible.
That was true mixed martial arts. We got to see every area of the game at a relatively high level. The grappling of Taira is special. And I think him being 24, to me, is such a good thing, because even if he was 30 and he looked like this, we'd be talking he's got a chance to do something big. But at 24 to fight against Brandon Royval, I guess the reason that I backed Royval with such confidence is because he went through that ringer of hell and was the prospect on the come up in the weight class. And he had a lot of hype early on, right? Prior to the damn Brandon Moreno loss the first time out, Royval was looking like the next kid up that might end up being champ. And I mean, he's definitely lived up to expectation now, but took some losses along the way in difficult fights. So Taira got battle tested and he got checked a little bit. He's not the number one contender, but he's definitely in the mix as far as all of the top damn flyweights. And I was thinking afterwards, I said, is it crazy to run him and our boy Steve Erceg? Taira Erceg is a dope fight.
That's kind of a cool fight.
I'm interested. I don't know if they're going to do it, though, because both prospects on the come up, even though they're, ranked as contenders, still the young guys that have a lot of room to grow. It's just one of those situations where Taira is ranked at number 5 in the world. Does he, jump into a fight against maybe a Kai Kara France? Who knows? Or even, potentially Albazi Moreno type loser situation. I don't know exactly what the UFC is going to do, but the Steve Erceg fight jumped out at me and I want to see what happens when these two fight each other.
Well, we'll see how Nicolau and Almabayev goes on this card, but there's definitely some fights for him. I would like to just see him bounce back a little lower. I mean, again, the kid's 24 years old. You want to water that tree. That could really grow into, he could be a champ. He could be the first Japanese champion. And so I think maybe, like a Kai Kara France fight would be a bit much. Yeah, could he fight like a Nicolau Almabayev winner, though? That would be possible. So, there's some other fights out there. Give him Tim Elliott. Give him Cody Durden. Give him, Matt Schnell. I don't know. Give him something that's more of a bounce back fight for Taira. That's my thought anyway. I know people just want to throw him in with the Lions. I get what you motherfuckers. You guys want to see blood. You guys want him to go for it. But if you're his manager, it's probably not what you want, right? So we'll see what happens. Royval, exciting as hell. I mean, just an incredible fight. Super, super fun fight. And good call, AJ.
Thank you, my man. I appreciate the props. Raw Dog Royval's in a weird spot, though, because he's lost to Pantoja twice. This past Saturday, the UFC announced Kai Ascura versus Alexandre Pantoja for the flyweight belt. Ascura now has the chance to be the first Japanese champ. Taking that fight in a damn debut for the belt is unheard of since, pre-modern era. I guess when they bought Strikeforce out, there was the title fights, or Pride FC, there was the title fights. But as far as a promotion that still exists that has a guy debut in a title fight, I don't think that's happened before.
That's true.
That's a special moment, man.
For sure.
And Ascura is good. I don't know. For Royval, you're praying Ascura wins because then you're next in line. And that's a dope fight. But if Pantoja wins again, puts Royval in a really weird position where he's, you know, a firm top contender, but might not be getting a trilogy after 2 L's to the same dude.
But he's so fucking exciting. Yeah, I don't want to see Royval and Pantoja again, though. It's a solid point. So, I don't know. That division's pretty exciting. I mean, Moreno's up there, Amir Albazi, Kai Kara France. I don't know. Kai Kara France and Royval. Isn't that fun?
Run it back. They fought a while ago and it's close.
Yeah.
They could do it. But I guess if you're Royval, you just beat the kid on the come up, right? And you're calling for a title fight. Is he going to sit on the sidelines and say no? And I got to answer the chat real quick. Contender Series picks are dropping after this stream. We're finishing Moneyline, and then a little while after, I'll have our Contender Series breakdown up for the week. Coco Bear, there you go.
Coco Bear 420, up to no good. Good fucking fight, man. These guys went back and forth, round for round, and it ends up being the striking of Royval. He did a lot of damage. Tyra is going to bounce back better. Really, really cool fight. Yeah, glad I got to watch that one.
It was dope. Card was pretty good overall, man. The Vegas event hit. Close decision, some quick little tidbit. Tavares Park, a good back and forth as far as the co-main event went. And I did think the right guy won it. I know we got a lot of split decisions, but I do think there was the right winner there.
I think so too. I bet on it myself. Park was about minus 205, so glad to see that one come through. We hit the 7th parlay in a row with the Themba Garimbo Grant Dawson parlay, called the Grant Dawson under 2.5 as well. Nice plus money. So some good stuff in the middle of this card.
Let's go. Yeah, man. We got some nice W's. Ngannou beats up Gooden, who I don't know what the game plan was.
Over 1.5. It was an easy call, especially after the weight miss, man. So over 1.5 was close odds. What was it? Minus 170 for over 1.5. Wasn't that fight obviously going over 1.5?
It seemed like it.
You know, and then Morono and fucking D-Rod down to the wire. Of course, I'll say it outright. I had money on Morono. And
close.
So close.
Gas tank of Morono, dude. In the third round, he loses it.
He just leaves it up to these split decisions that are like, I guess it was even. Like, I don't know who's gonna, you know.
Yeah.
Damn it, Morono. Why, dude? Why you? You know, I felt like it was pretty clear that Morono had it in his hands and just finds a way to fuck these up. So that's what you get when you bet Morono.
That's what you get, man. Morono, I learned my lesson after the Nico Price fight with him. I said, I'm losing confidence in this guy. And I'm like, I can't again back him.
He makes everything a fight, you know. He's in a fight with everybody. And,
the Court McGee fight had me shit in my pants too, and I locked him then.
You know, but it doesn't matter if he just wins and loses back and forth, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's like, it doesn't matter how close it is. If you lose, man. This isn't Pride FC Japan, where we're just here for the show. We want to be able to bet on you, Morono. What's with the split decision?
Let's go. I got to quickly shout out the Big W D-Gen bet of the week for me. Royval, Dawson, Temirov, Park, Ngannou, and Garimbo paid at plus 1,600. And I know some D-Gen savages tailed me on that. So shout out to anybody that cashed big, man. The parlays were on point. Me, I had a Mike Finch, Mr. Parlay King himself moment, bro. I felt real good. Ali, thank you.
I dropped a plus 400, and it was in the it was my wild card. So I told you, right, every single week I've been doing wild card for the premium channel, and it was let's see, I had Haddon, Dawson, Garimbo, Timurov, and Ngannou. Big ass parlay. It was over plus 400 and a hit.
Let's go, Finch. We're on fire, my man. We're bringing fire to this week, bro. I'm telling you, I'm feeling good. And I want to make a quick shout out, though. Ramazan Temirov. Do you believe the hype on this flyweight savage? I said he's going to be the first guy to chin Vergara. Most people said no because Vergara's got a good chin. He's going to get laid out at flyweight? Probably not. Nah, this dude is dangerous. I'm a big fan, bro. I think he has that Hamzat Shavkat thing. I think he's making a run for the belt.
I think he's making a run for the belt, too. But CJ Vergara is not the, you know, I wouldn't even call him the gatekeeper yet. Like, he's got work to do, so I wouldn't rush him. You know, UFC debut, that's how you do it, though.
Good shit. Ramazan Temirov getting us all excited. And shout out Finch, man, for the Sabatini underdog savage call. You were on that shit. That was good.
Hey, shout out to my boy T. He actually dropped it in the chat because I was, I picked my favorites. I laid down the wild card, all me. All that shit was me. But then my boy T was like, "Yo, you gotta do the boxing fight." I gave out a BKFC fight. So
Which
Oscar Willis, Oscar Willis fought Ben Davis. Ben Davis is not a fighter. So I went on my free channel on Telegram, 0 cents to be on this channel, and like pennies, cents to be on it because I give out picks like Oscar Willis, which is, he was a 3-1 favorite, but it was free money. It was a fake fight. And I don't mean fake as in like it was, Ben tried to win, but he can't fight. Ben Davis is not a fighter. As to where Oscar Willis has an amateur mixed martial arts fight. He's trained alongside a lot of really good fighters like Dan Hooker, like Conor McGregor. He can fucking fight. I watched his amateur fight. Ben Davis, I called him Ben the Bum Davis. That's what I did.
Holy
and
shit.
I bet what $400 on Oscar, just free money.
That's nice. I think he's done a couple of the karate combats, and he did he got knocked out by Anderson Silva's son in Misfits boxing. So he's done a couple striking events.
Have you seen him? Jesus.
No, that's fair. He's not.
AJ.
Willis is a different level of athlete. Hey, let's go. EMG Drug God. Thank you for $1.99.
Boom.
Boom.
Who is that guy? Look at the Muhammad Ali shirt. Representing the go. That guy can box. You're going to tell me Ben Davis counts as a boxer now, AJ? What the fuck?
That's fair.
He did do karate combat. What was that?
He did. He did a karate combat fight and won.
Bro.
He's won a couple. That's what I'm saying.
Ching.
Hey, let's go, Jay.
That one, and then I had Dave Mundell. I gave that one out. That one hit too. So
legend. He's the pound
BKFC picks, bro. It's my fucking. Me and AJ hosted the show for a long time.
Why are they not calling us back at BKFC right now?
Yeah, guys, please go to BKFC, knock on the door, be like, we demand.
Yeah.
That the BK Bets show comes back. Bare knuckle bets.
Bro, they don't need to
they just have a
production. I'll do the graphics on this I'll do this graphic. We press record and that's it. I'll talk to them. I don't know. I could literally upload it to them.
Ali.
Was
Boombaye. What is it? Drop $1 my guy. Iron Knee and Finchman. Thank you, Ali Point VTV. I appreciate that.
Let's go.
Let's go. It was a fun card, man.
It was a fun week.
Other fight night, make a couple dollars. Next,
we got another Vegas card this week. UFC Vegas 99 going down from the Apex once again. And I'm looking forward to talking about it. We're going to jump into things. If you guys haven't, smash the likes. If you're new, subscribe to the damn channel. Keep it locked in. First fight, Rebellis Despaigne versus Austen Lane. It's kind of got a nice ring to it. The pick is Rebellis Despaigne for me. I can't back Austen Lane, okay? All losses by knockout. 0-2 and 1 no contest in the UFC. Back-to-back KO losses. Tafa chinned him, and then he got chinned by Deniz. Granted, both solid strikers and guys that have proven knockout power. Even though Despaigne is relatively raw, and we don't know a ton about him besides that he can't grapple, is Austen Lane the guy that's going to exploit the weakness? I know he tackled Deniz from across the damn cage, but Despaigne's got a little bit of a height advantage. I think he's the more fit and athletic guy, a little quicker movement. I know Lane comes from the football background. Like, wait, what? More athletic? No, I think as far as fighting athleticism, Despaigne is better. He's more elusive. He's lighter on his feet. He's just simply got a little more bounce to his style, whereas Lane's like brute force. I'm coming with big punches, and we're going to go to war. And even though he could throw in a football tackle, I don't think he's submitting Despaigne on the ground. So even if Despaigne loses some grappling time, I don't have confidence that Lane has cardio to wrestle. He's not a grappler. His style is knock out or be knocked out. He tried to wrestle Deniz. He had some success in round 1, and he was dead come round number 2. And now he's fighting a monster heavyweight who I do think is going to be able to at least stifle the grappling attack. And I think Despaigne with a big power striking edge finds Lane's chin and puts him out. Despaigne, W.
I mean, they gave this guy Waldo Acosta Cortez, who he was a major favorite over, but I could smell that from Huntington Beach that was not going to work out. So we had the Where's Waldo pick. Nice, easy cash for you guys if you tailed me on that one. And this is a totally different matchup. Like, Where's Waldo's got clean boxing. He's got heavyweight experience in the UFC. Austen Lane has been, those lanes have been run over already, you know? So as AJ said, he's susceptible to taking big shots, and he's going to take some from Despaigne. I think Despaigne, this is the fight he needed to kind of get his feet set in the UFC. This is the way he should come up. This is a favorable matchup for him. After that horrific performance against Where's Waldo, let's go with Despaigne by knockout.
Yeah, Despaigne by knockout, I think, is what comes to fruition. Austen Lane going out, wrestle fucking him, unlikely. Beating him up on the stand-up, unlikely. I think that even though Despaigne got dominated by Where's Waldo, Waldo's pretty good. I mean, he's beaten some solid heavyweights. He's got a lot of experience, like Finch has been saying, at a high level. And that's just not what Lane is. As far as the odds, though, Rebellis Despaigne, once again, is a massive favorite at minus 450. Austen Lane sitting at plus 350 as the dog. The way that I look at the odds is I will anticipate a knockout, but it's minus 375. I wish it was minus 175. So, you know, there's not a ton of money to be made. If you want Rebellis Despaigne by first round, you got minus 110 for it. If you think he's chinning Lane in the early stages of the fight, are you propping it up, Finch? Like, obviously this fight is a confident pick, but the odds are shit, man.
Oh, man. Look, I make all my picks and then I look at the odds. I looked at the odds about 30 seconds ago. So that was the first shot I had at the odds. So I have no idea if I want to play this one or what, but you know, it seems there's a high likelihood that Despaigne finishes the fight. So how you want to play that will be relative based on the rest of the odds. I'm literally going to find out the odds as we do this card. I got an idea of where a few of them are, but as far as Despaigne's reliability, not extremely high. Would it be super shocking that he fucks this up? No. But like, what's the high likelihood? Despaigne first round knockout. So how do you play that? Do you play that under? Do you play that by finish? Do you just parlay it and just, you know, think Despaigne wins? Those are things I'm gonna have to figure out from my bets.
Same.
A BKFC duo would be shit. What would be the shit? Sorry, not shit. Would be the shit, which is a good thing to be the shit.
We would be the shit.
And, you know, maybe we'll see what happens. Hey, if BKFC wants to keep running it, we'll keep running it. But me and AJ are two of the best BKFC pickers. Are we the best BKFC pickers in the game?
I think so.
And we're not even dropping the picks. So we got to figure something out.
I mean, we can talk, Finch, if you want. We could start our own BK bet show. Me and you break the fights down
run it right here, right?
We run it here. I mean, that's fine by me. I was actually talking to chat. Billy, what are we doing? I was talking to chat and I was saying, hey, I was like, you know, with Contender Series ending, I'd be down to do, you know, a short show of some kind with you know, major fight promotion. Maybe it's BKFC. Maybe we do the 5 key fights every single week in like a 30-minute podcast or something like that. I don't know. We're going to have to sleep on it and try to figure something out because it's definitely not a bad idea. We'll see how we can finagle things. It might be worthwhile because I do think BKFC is exploding right now and we bend the faces of the game. So for us to continue, it is not a horrible idea to, you know, bring back the BKFC picks. It's just we would like to do it on their platform.
On their platform.
Right.
You know, they had us on. But I was there fucking ringside when Luke Rockhold got his fucking tooth knocked out by Mike Perry. I caught that shit in the air. Just kidding. But I talked to him afterwards. All right.
Yeah.
Baby, come back. BKFC, come back. Ooh, baby, got a hold on me. I've been trying, and I just can't live without you.
BKFC, we'll send them that, bro. We got to clip that and send it to Dave Feldman himself.
They're like, we're never having these.
We're never having these guys again.
What the fuck? Yo, our show was dope though, and shout out to Billy. He's doing episodes of a Chopper show
That's
and
cool.
really cool shit he's working on. So if you guys feel like supporting our producer Billy, I have the link in my Most Confident Picks show from last week, and I'll have it tonight's too. He's got like a GoFundMe. They're trying to get 15 grand to make this show. Makes
Holy
really
shit.
cool stuff. It's all free
Yeah.
on YouTube too, so you guys can check all that out, and maybe maybe we'll get Billy back.
We'll see. We'll
Billy's
see.
the man.
He's the man.
Billy
Shout out
made
to him.
bare knuckle bets, so
He did.
shout out to him.
Let's see. Time will tell. But you know what's happening for sure? Despaigne getting the W this Saturday, my guy. Let's keep running. Next fight, which starts our trio of women's action. Elise Ardelean versus Melissa Martinez. I'm sorry for the sigh, man. I was just,
You're
just
super
reminiscing.
hyped for this fight, right?
It's not a horrible fight. It's just the fact that
It's the fight
three
of the year.
ladies fights in a row. Holy shit. It's a fight for me and you. Yeah.
If you put a Wei Lee fight and a Tatiana
Yeah.
Suarez fight and a fucking, you can make good girl fights. 3 girl fights in a row. I'm down. When it's these 3 fights,
Come on. Yeah.
that's the problem.
That's the problem. That's the problem. For a lot of people, they're probably going to be taking breaks during the fights. They're going to be eating something, having a meal, taking a shit, different things. But we're going to talk about the fight, okay? Elise Ardelean versus I'm botching the name here, Melissa Martinez. I'm sorry, Melissa. I'm going with Ardelean to pull off the upset in the fight because I do think she has a wrestling edge. Martinez has good karate style striking, but she's been controlled on the ground before. Outside of the UFC, this is her pre-debut. She fought Desiree Yanez, who turned out to kind of be like a Bellator and PFL washout. And she was getting wrestle fucked in that fight. She won a really close decision because Combate tends to favor damage, in striking over, damage from top position and ground and pound. So she escaped with a win, and then her debut, she loses to Elise Reed, but she got out grappled at moments in that fight. And let's be honest here, Elise Reed's grappling is not something that any of us are rating extremely high. Whereas Elise Ardelean just recently on short notice did good work with Shauna Bannon, could have won that fight, was controlling her on the ground. She's been in there against Weili Zhang pre-UFC, Diana Belbita pre-UFC. Elise Ardelean's a quality prospect, and I think that she's got a clear-cut advantage in grappling. And I got to pick her to pull off a win because also she now has the full camp, and Martinez is stepping in on short notice. Whereas we saw Ardelean gritty as hell on short notice last time. We got her on a full camp versus somebody coming in on short notice. I got to favor her even more so. I'm picking her probably to win with grappling.
I think she could maybe take her down. I mean, Martinez just lost to Elise Reed, who I think is one of the worst fighters in the UFC. And, Ardelean, her record's awful, but at least one of those losses is to Wei Lee, to Belbita, to, the women she's lost. Now she's beaten some cans too. So you can't let her get completely away. But, I'm betting my house. No, I'm joking. Come on, this is crazy. Betting on these 3 girl fights is super tough. I think the bets to look at here are the over-unders. Yeah. And if anything, it would be a dog touch here. Yeah, Ardelean could absolutely find a way to win this fight despite the horrific record.
Let's go. I think so too. And she's won a lot of fights consistently over the past couple years. We got Ali dropping another dono. Thank you for the 199. Bring back BKFC picks, 30-minute show right here. We'll see what happens, brother. We'll see what happens, Ali. Thank you for 199. Listen, Ardelean should win.
Out there wilding the fuck out, dancing in the fucking in the ring. You saw him getting down with everybody. He was with Dan Hooker. Who's your next fight? Hooker. When? This winter. Whatever the fuck he said. Yeah. BKFC's fun right now, so that makes sense, Ali. Thank you.
Yeah, BKFC is on trajectory upwards since they signed that DAZN deal.
Yeah, especially now that they got to pay the main event double. Did you see that? We're giving them double their purse. Dave Feldman's like, we are?
Yeah. That said, oh shit, that's why they canceled BK Bets. They said, listen, cut it any extra expenses, dog.
You gotta watch out,
Holy shit.
Pick 'em. Jeez, pick 'em generous. Let's fucking go. Can't wait for 308. 308 is juicy. I mean,
I'm so fucking excited for 308.
I couldn't wait to bet on it. I've already got bets out.
I had a feeling. Let's go.
I couldn't wait.
Shit. I can't wait for it, dude. It's gonna be epic. We got great fights to finish out the year. It's amazing. We're on the 9-week stretch. I think we got 7 left. So we're bringing fire every damn card. Should I talk the odds real quick? Because we're going off side tangents.
Yeah,
Finch.
Ardelean, slight dog.
Plus 115, right? I think that she's live to win it. It's a women's fight, coin flip type of fight, and the odds reflect it. Ardelean should have a grappling edge. Minus 135 Martinez, Ardelean by decision, plus 185 with an over 2.5 at minus 365. This is how I look at things. Ardelean, live chance to win, and that is why she's a very close underdog. Not one of the, best underdog bets you can make. It's not like betting Royval or Money Moicano or, fucking Chris Duncan or Oban Elliott, some of the big dog picks this year. It's still live to win, but at almost even odds. I have not bet it yet. I am in a position where I feel as though it's possible, but the sell likelihood seems way higher than some of the higher level men's fights or even some of the higher level ladies fights, because Melissa Martinez is a karate champion and not like just BS karate and point sparring like the Waco karate. So she does have good stand up, and Ardelean striking is okay. It's just the grappling is the ultimate difference maker, I think. And Martinez hasn't fought in 2 years. She was 25. Now she's 27. How much improvement has she had? Her brother, David Martinez, just got a contract too. David just got signed a few weeks ago. So it's one of those fights, man. Flip a coin. I'm going Ardelean. So is Finch. And we'll see what goes down when the ladies throw down. Let's keep running, man. We got the trio of ladies fights to talk about. Next one, Jessica Penne, who's 41, versus Elise Reed, who we were just talking about. I'm going to pick Elise Reed, Finch. I am. I have to. Jessica Penne striking against Emily Ducote, not good. She got chopped up with leg kicks, punched in the face a good amount. Say what you want about Elise Reed's grappling, and I'll say it. It is utter trash. She's not a good grappler. It's just simply not a strong area in her game, and it's definitely a hole that she should be absolutely crushing in the gym. But something she does better than Jessica Penne, and I don't doubt it, is strike, and she has a speed advantage. Then the question mark comes in, how does Penne get her to the ground? Jessica Penne isn't a highly touted wrestler. She has relatively good jiu-jitsu skills, but against Emily Ducote, they're in a striking fight. The fight going to the floor, she's going to have to drag her down off of probably a catch of a kick or potentially clinch work against the cage, trying to jump the back from there. I don't think Reed makes that easy. I think Reed being younger, there's going to be the obvious speed advantage, and I think Reed being the better striker, those skills and abilities should be just enough for her to win a hard-fought decision. But betting on Elise Reed, Jessica Penne, another one where could be just playing with matches, dog. Fire.
Early lean Jessica Penne. I was hoping she was like 39. It sucks to hear that she's 41.
Yeah, I know.
But her jiu-jitsu is a lot better. And so if she could just drag her onto the ground, and Elise Reed kicks a lot. So if she could just find a way to get her onto the ground, maybe easier said than done. We just said Elise Reed found a way to beat Martinez, who also is not good on the ground. I feel like the way they match up, the bigger mismatches, Penne in the top position could potentially find a way to choke Reed or at least dominate from the top. I don't really see Reed getting back up if she got taken down. Penne, not a takedown artist, but Reed's wrestling might be that bad. So I don't know. I mean, would you really bet on this fight? Are people that crazy that you want to bet on fights like this? My pick is Jessica Penne because I believe the years of training with Angela Overkill Hill and Carla Esparza and that crowd has to get her grappling to a level where she can find a path against Elise Reed. Until Elise Reed shows me improved grappling, I'm just going to assume those holes are still there. So I'll take the 41-year-old female. How about that? That's where this fight's at. All right. We got a couple donos in the chat. AJ, the greatest of all time bet, the Raw Dog pick made him $2,000 off of $100 on the full card. Brother, the odds weren't that wide, so I don't know what he was betting.
He probably did the D-Gen parlay. Let's go.
Nice, though.
Let's go.
Very
Singe,
nice.
my guy, Harpreet Singe. Thank you for the $7.99, and thank you for the love, bro.
Don't spend it all in one place, And one thing you could do with the money is get the premium channel. That's why Danny Dragon Seed. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. AJ, your shit. You are YOU''RE. Now he's gonna take his compliment back. Grammar policed him. You're the shit. Wicked picks, my man. Always been watching your show for a min. Best MMA channel on YouTube. Hey, I got the second best though. Finch Premium Telegram, making me richer. Let's go, Danny. Let's make some money. If you want to join Danny over on the Telegram, DM at Mike Finch Show. My boy T will get you in. Let's go, Danny.
Let's go. Finchman and I bringing the fire every single card, bro. Keep it locked in with the boys. And besides catching absolute savage W's, you're going to have a fantastic time because me and the Finch do our thing over here, man. It's turned into more than just a pick show. It's MMA, podcast, lifestyle, having a great show every damn week type vibes.
That's it. Every single week, you get to hear me do a bad Trump impression.
It's pretty good, I think.
Tremendous numbers. Jessica Penne versus Elise Reed. The worst fight in UFC history. Joe Biden is the worst in UFC history. No close second. I got Penne, 41 years old, but fuck it. If Trump can get elected, Penne can win this fight.
Let's go. Holy fuck. Odds for the fight. Finchman, you got the dog at plus 155. I got Reed, the favorite, at minus 180. I'm going to chill on the sidelines and probably it go. I don't know, man. The reason I think about sitting out on that over for one simple, bro, Penne by submission, dog. Penne by submission. Your girl by sub is plus 475. Elise Reed is known for getting submitted. She's got 2 submission losses.
You had to tell me that, bro. Why you even tempt me like that?
I'm just saying, all her losses are finishes, bro. She's won all her decisions, though. 5-0 in decision fights.
I could see it. I could see a Penne submission. Now you got us out here getting the people wanting to bet on this freaking trash can.
Let's go, Tannis.
Yeah, Tannis, you're a savage. Thank you, Tannis. We really appreciate that. Like initial reaction to this fight, skip. But if AJ's degen enough to bet on Penne sub, anything is possible. Anything is possible. You just believe.
Let's go.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. Let's go. I'm ready to keep moving, for God's sake. Let's jump to the next fight. We got Jocelyn Edwards versus Tamires Vidal. Fucking all right, guys. I'll see you later. Holy shit. Peace out.
I'm out.
Listen. I think Jocelyn Edwards wins. She's got more UFC experience. I think she's shown improvement. Tamires Vidal is like kind of like a street fighter. She's a swanging and banging brawler with a suspect ground game. Edwards looked okay on the ground with Eileen Perez. I mean, she didn't get finished, and she had moments where she got on top, and Perez is pretty crafty. I think Edwards is a little cleaner than Vidal. I think that Edwards gets her to the ground, and we probably got Edwards by a decision as the perfect prediction in this one. That's what I think. She's a little bit better everywhere. Vidal's a little chaotic with their wide shots, but I just don't think a high likelihood of them getting through.
Fuck, bro. Like, I get what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is I have trained with Jocelyn Edwards.
Yes.
You
have. That is true.
I've grappled Jocelyn Edwards. And I want to be, you got to be respectful. But I could see Tamires Vidal even being competitive with her. Okay. Like, am I gonna go bet that Jocelyn Edwards is gonna outgrapple? I just, I mean,
I just don't think Vidal is very good, dude. I don't know.
There were good people in that room. I mean, we got good work, and Tatiana Suarez is good as fuck. I watched Tatiana Suarez grapple Jocelyn Edwards too, and I won't say anything about that either. But there are levels to the game, and it's Tamires Vidal is not incompetent enough for me to trust Jocelyn Edwards. So I think Tamires Vidal, I think brawling on the feet might make sense. I think Jocelyn Edwards could, fumble the bag even here. With that being said, I understand the idea that, hey, just hit a double on Vidal and just lay on top of her. That's all you need. Like, that's not crazy. But at least Vidal's a little dangerous on the feet, like kind of got something. As for Jocelyn Edwards, to me, is a little vanilla and not much of a threat on the ground. Not overly impressive at any specific techniques or martial arts. So give me a brawling Tamires Vidal. But can she blow it by getting taken down? Absolutely.
You went all 3 underdogs on the ladies' fights.
Did I?
Yeah.
I actually have no idea who the favorite is here. It's Edwards?
Edwards minus 250, brother.
Minus 250 for Jocelyn Edwards.
Yeah, Vidal's plus 210.
It's not nice to talk about training, so I won't. But, I just, there are so many levels to the game, and how are you going to minus 250? I don't understand. I don't understand. So I think Tamires Vidal is a better striker.
Tamires Vidal, you like her striking?
If they weren't allowed to shoot takedowns, who would you pick?
Vidal is still sloppy as fuck, though, man.
Sure.
And like Jocelyn Edwards still is kind of clean with it. I mean, she lost to Nora Cornell, who was a decent striker, but I thought she could have won that fight, to be honest. So you're betting on low tier girls, bro. The opposition for Vidal, win over Romana Pascual, 2 years ago. Lost to Montserrat Rendon by split decision for Vidal. And then Melissa Gatto stopped her with a weird tit punch. I don't know. It's weird stoppage, weird fight. And then for Edwards, I mean, she got a win over Pudilova, but she almost lost that fight. She lost to Nora Cornhole. I thought she should have won that fight. And then she loses the decision to Eileen Perez. Yeah, you can't rate either one of them highly. I get where you're coming from. Finishing ability, I guess you favor Vidal's power. Yeah, I get it. I get where you're coming from.
I get the pick of Edwards. I do. But you won't find me betting on Edwards.
Right. Respect.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I respect the pick. Edwards for me.
What an anticlimactic breakdown. Do I have anything? How about nice things to say?
Anything nice?
They fought good girls. I mean, for sure.
Opposition's nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Melissa Gatto is pretty good.
Eileen Perez, Nora Cornell. I mean, Lucy Pudilova, Ji-Yoon Kim. These are decent split decision wins. She did beat Jessica Rose Clark, who's got a little bit of striking. Jessica Rose Clark's pretty cool. Jessica Rose Clark's been on the show.
She gets respect.
Should we give Jessica Rose Clark respect? Absolutely. And now she's fighting like tin cans in some other organization.
She was doing Muay Thai now.
You guys saw her just fight. You saw Tamires Vidal just fight Melissa Gatto. Like, I think Melissa Gatto is pretty good.
She is. Gatto, especially at 35, Gatto's legit.
Yeah.
Fair.
Even Montserrat Rendon's all right.
Is Montserrat Rendon all right? Really? Is she? I guess
she's all right. She's all right,
man. With duty, with fucking the Russian.
It's not good. All right, I'm tripping. My bad.
No. I'm not saying you're tripping, but it's just fuck's sake, bro. You're giving us this type of fight.
I'm trying to be nice.
In a perfect world is probably one you shouldn't throw down on. Yeah, Zelenjnikova got that decision with Rendon, but granted, she kind of touched Zelenjnikova more than expected on the feet.
Yeah. So anyway, I totally get the Edwards pick here, folks. I understand what you're saying. But based upon the information I have, Edwards is not a bettable fighter. I don't think Edwards is UFC caliber either.
Yeah.
So if you got two non-UFC caliber fighters, I don't know. But maybe Edwards just hits takedowns and holds her down. That seems logical enough. So I feel you, dog.
Let's see. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we have Brad Katona versus Gene Matsumoto. I'm picking Gene Matsumoto because I think he has a bit more versatility in the striking. His kicking skills are really nice. And as far as the hands go, something that always surprises me is how well Brad Katona is regarded as an amateur boxer. He was on the Canadian national team But when you watch him fight, I don't really think of him as that good of a boxer. He's got okay boxing, but he's not phenomenal there. Matsumoto's hands, I think, can match or even exceed what Katona brings to the table. And then on top of that, Matsumoto, he's got relatively good grappling defense. You do see him getting taken down in his past 2 fights. But Casey Tanner, who he beat on the Damn Contender Series, trains with Henry Cejudo. Dan Argueta is a hard-nosed American wrestler. Brad Katona has pretty good MMA wrestling skills, but he's definitely not like an exceptional takedown artist. He's a good decision winner. And I feel like Matsumoto is more explosive and athletic. I'm going to pick Matsumoto to find a way to beat Brad Katona, but it's definitely a legit fight. Brad Katona is 14-3 as a pro, and he is a 2-time Ultimate Fighter winner. He's beaten good names before, and he knows how to win fights. It's just when he gets to the UFC level, it seems to kind of fall apart, and Matsumoto could do more damage, could be the more powerful, probably is the more powerful striker, and I think he could find a way. What do you think, Finch?
I like Matsumoto in this fight. I think the striking won't be that close, especially early on. The thing you can like about Brad Katona is the dude's got cardio. He is a decision machine. He fights well in the 3rd round. And so the question for me is, does Matsumoto have what it takes to finish Brad Katona? Can he choke him? He has a lot of wins by submission. He's a knockout threat too. Or do they get to the 3rd round and Brad Katona starts finding his way, back into the fight? So those are the 2 ways I see this thing going. Either way, I see Matsumoto coming out on top. But Brad Katona's definitely got cardio for a hard 3. So it'll be interesting to see what the test does for Matsumoto. I think he has better striking, and then he'll be able to deal with the grappling of a Brad Katona who, let's be honest, a style that's designed to win 2 out of 3 rounds in decisions.
True.
And I think he's losing the first 2 to Matsumoto if that's the case.
Agreed. Minus 235 for Matsumoto, who's coming off the Dan Argueta submission. Plus 200 for Brad Katona. He's coming off that win against Jesse Butler, who I didn't think was highly rated or caliber. And then he still goes distance with Katona, which is Katona's fatal flaw, is he can't finish fights. Over 2.5, minus 325. And then Matsumoto to win a decision, minus 120. Katona can't finish, bro. He can't finish anywhere, my brother.
I don't think he's a threat like Matsumoto's a threat. I can imagine a club and sub for Matsumoto. I mean, you saw what he did to Argueta. I think that Matsumoto's, got this one. The one way you see Brad Katona doing it is by some type of split decision he pulls out, but I don't think so. He's less talented, AJ. There's a talent difference here that's pretty apparent. And speaking of talented, the very great and powerful, talented, great, tremendous Michael Bowman coming through. He says he loves that he caught the live before the wife takes the remote. Mike, you got to hold it down at home, buddy. Let the wife know this is Moneyline time. This is no normal hour of entertainment. This is your favorite live show. And so I hope your lovely wife lets you keep that remote until we get past this main event. Good to see you, Mr. Bowman.
Mike Bowman, thank you for the 20, brother. Hope all is well. Shout out to you, my man. Big W to the Bowman. Now, is Matsumoto somebody I'm feeling comfortable laying the chalk on as of right now, early? I don't know, man. I don't know why. Matsumoto, something about his face is telling me I can't back him with confidence, dog. I don't know. He's got those chubby cheeks, man. He still looks like a kid.
Yeah, you're a Matsumoto hater. I think on your other show
I picked him, but
you're like, well, the odds are this way because he's got this name, or you said some shit like, didn't you say?
I don't know.
What'd you say?
I don't know. I said he's got a name that sounds Japanese.
You're like, the odds are wide because he's got this cool last name.
Oh, I think that does help. If it was Gene's fucking, Stevens, I don't know. I don't think they'd be this white. I'm telling you, bro. Tatsuro Taira, he's 3-1.
You might be onto something.
Gene Matsumoto. If it's fucking,
if your last name is Finch, you're you're minus 500.
You probably are, yeah. But if
it's it's not. He's not a Finch, but he is a Matsumoto.
Matsumoto, bro. No, it does something. It's a big last name. I don't know. It pops. It pops. He's got hype, but we'll see if the hype delivers. We'll both pick him. I think you have to pick him here. Brad Katona just, I don't know, not a good finisher. At a striking power disadvantage, And I think that's going to be his ultimate fall. Let's keep running. Let's jump to our featured prelim of the night. Matthias Nicolau versus Asu Almabayev. Let me tell you, Asu Almabayev came into the UFC seeming to be the next guy up. Ramazan Temirov will rip him in half if they do fight. I'm already jumping on the Temirov side hardcore, and I'm dropping some heat against Almabayev before picking him against Matthias Nicolau, because I am going to pick Almabayev. But let me tell you something. Going back and watching recent fights from Almabayev, he had moments where he was mounted by Jose Johnson for short periods, even his back taken, even struggling with CJ Vergara at some points. Granted, majority is him controlling, but something that you alluded to with Mateusz Gamrot, I feel like Almabayev is also guilty of. It's like over wrestling or over grappling and then getting himself swept and put on bottom. So at times I do worry about Almabayev being over aggressive in the grappling exchanges. And I think he could be better suited to just lock in the half guard and just hold the position for a while, be maybe a little more patient. He does win these fights by pressure wrestling, and his striking is not awful, but I wouldn't highly rate his stand-up game. Now, when I look at Matthias Nicolau, I actually see more precise striking, very counter-based. And you know, with this matchup here, I do feel as though for Nicolau, this is the best pure wrestler he has ever faced off against. Now, if you dig into Nicolau's resume, you see he has incredible takedown defense that rates very highly. I believe it's in the 90% range, and he's been taken down only one time. It's a 93% takedown defense rate. Nicolau has been taken down just one time in his entire UFC career, and it was actually against Tim Elliott, and he was relatively quick at bursting back up to his feet. But like I said, he has not dealt with a chain pressure wrestler like Almabayev before. So I will say Almabayev to win a gritty, hard-fought decision, but I do anticipate this fight could be closer than people are expecting, and Nicolau being kind of written off because of 2 knockout losses, but the styles of fighters that he's lost to, being Alex Perez and Brandon Royval, are Perez, relatively dangerous stand-up game, heavy leg kicks, knockout power, and a good wrestling base. On the opposite side, then his loss to Brandon Royval, he's literally the #1 contender who just beat Tyra in a really close fight and has good striking, versus Almabayev, who's got 3 UFC wins against Ode Osborne, CJ Vergara, and Jose Johnson. Not massive wins. Nicolau still got that split decision over Manel Kape. He's been in there with good opposition. He beat Tim Elliott. So I guess I feel as though it's being looked at as a squash match, but I think that this fight could be more competitive than anticipated, and Nicolau is a jiu-jitsu black belt. Nicolau definitely has ground skills. It's just he hasn't faced this level of pressure wrestler, and I'm going to favor the pressure wrestler. I'm going to ride with the EV to get it done. But I got a little, I don't know, I just got this little tiny bit more worry than I normally would with like an Almabayev fight because Nicolau is still a pretty seasoned vet and well-rounded.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I just wish he was a little more dangerous with the hands. You know, as you said, Nicolau's gone to you know, some decisions against, you know, like Manel Kape was that split decision. That was years ago though. And it's top competition he's lost to, of course, but he made me think Alex Perez was a little better than Alex Perez was. He is a jiu-jitsu black belt. He is going to be good on the ground. He'll be competitive with the wrestling, I'm sure. But in that little cage, I think Almabayev ends up out wrestling him, takes him down, gets some ground and pound off of him. They keep playing the game where Nicolau's trying to stand up. Almabayev takes his back, drags him to the ground, wears him out a little bit, beats him up. I believe in the grappling of Almabayev here. I think he gets to a guy who's not quite dangerous enough to have that knockout ability. I think you got to threaten Almabayev a little more than Nicolau can. Good fight, fun fight. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, I'm excited for it too. We'll see what happens, man. But Almabayev gonna be both of our picks, regardless of, you know, a more in-depth analysis of possibilities. And Mac333 drops a savage 499. AJ, thanks for the parlay this past weekend. Best out there. Mac333, I appreciate you, dog. And thank you for tuning in to the best show on the internet, baby. Moneyline time. Let's go. And big time. Let's look at this savage, bro. 279. AJ, when's the Contender Series show dropping? Everybody's asking. Guys, don't panic. Don't worry. I'm doing the Contender Series breakdown after the Money Line with Finch. I'll be dropping it later on this night. I guess currently it's early morning. So later on this morning, I'll have it drop for the people, and I'll be dropping all my Contender Series picks. It is coming shortly. Don't worry. Don't worry. I don't miss a breakdown. Come on.
You know, AJ don't miss. Come on, folks. He's always fucking breaking down fights for y'all. AJ's working every day, flooding, fucking hit him with the storm. He's gonna be broadcasting from somewhere. Okay, he'll be on the fucking front door, fucking rolling through, doing a show on his phone if he needs to. AJ's gonna make it happen. AJ, you ever need to come here to make the show happen? I got you, buddy.
Let's go. I will visit Cali, Finch. I will make it happen.
UFC Gym Huntington Beach is ready for you. All right. Come to the best UFC gym in the game. Come through and hang out. Giga Chikadze said he needs a sparring partner. I told him my boy's a boxer. We'll get him in there with you. All right.
I'll do it, but I want no kicks. Or actually, if he wants just thigh kicks, no fucking calf shit, no body kicks, and definitely no head kicks. I'll take the fucking thigh beating if I have to.
Exact opposite. What you want is to get to the punching bag and have Giga show you how to kick. I made him do it. Okay. He came to the UFC anniversary party and he taught a kickboxing class with me. And he's like, what do you want me to teach? I'm like, Giga, please teach us the body kick. You know, so he's like, do you have a chair? I'm like, I already love where this is going. I'm like, why the fuck does this guy need a chair? So I grab a chair and he set up a foldable chair in front of the bag. And he was saying, you need to learn how to kick over the chair. So if your kick is coming up like a Shevchenko kick, you're never going to get that type of power. He's talking about rotating the hip, wham, and the way he hits with his hips every time he throws the kick. You got to go over the chair next to the bag. So alone at midnight, I've done the exact same thing. I bring the chair over to the bag. So if you want to learn how to kick, bro, actually Giga's the fucking man.
All right, let's go. I do it. I'm in. And no sparring, for God's sake.
I'm trying to get Giga training with Kolabate. So I gave Giga Kolabate's Instagram, and I'm trying to get him training with that IBJJF world champ. So I don't know. Giga, Chris Cyborg's out here. Who else? Rampage is there every morning. You want to spar Rampage?
Fuck. I mean, Rampage would be fun to spar because I don't think he's gonna knock me out.
Rashad Evans. It's boxing.
He's not gonna hit me hard, bro. He'll just play. He'll tap. We can do a little touch spar. He's not gonna try to take my head off, man.
I feel like Rampage is just on or off. There's no touch spar, you know?
Well, then you know what, Finch? I'm gonna tag you in for me, my brother. You handle my dirty work, dog.
He's a big boy. I don't know. I think he's a little bigger than me. I'm like 180, 185, you know?
Yeah, I'm lighter than that right now, dog.
Rampage is looking like a solid 240. So
yeah, no heavyweight fights, man.
Card House with nothing but just the founding father hitting the fucking, what is he? He's putting a stance on us right there. You see the stance?
Looks kind of like you in the picture that Drug God has, EMG.
Looks like me? I look like that? This ain't good.
And a stylish, it's a stylish pose,
This ain't good. Folks, he just told me I look like this fat founding father or whoever the fuck.
You got the same hand positions that you were doing, man.
Holy shit. Oh, the hand positions look
yeah.
All right. Not the gray hair.
No.
Okay, Jesus Christ.
No. The Halloween show, though,
$10 and the fucking trauma that I'll be like,
that's funny as fuck. The Finch man Traba's coming in.
Thank you, Card House. $10 was very generous. All right, we're going Almabayev.
Can I read the odds? Yeah, -170 Almabayev. Nicolau +145, over 2.5, -285. Almabayev by decision, -120. Almabayev scorecards, taking it home. I think it's happening.
I think so too. Good, Godspeed to Nicolau. He's an exciting guy, but if he could just like sit down on some shots, that'd be a little different. That's not his style.
No, he doesn't. And Cardhouse says something here. Hit that Royval Sabatini parlay. Big W underdog heaters, baby. My underdog and Finch's dog coming through for you. Let's go.
Oh, he put them together. I like that, Cardhouse. Very wise.
Let's go. Hell yeah. Let's keep running. Let's jump to our main card opener. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you all smash the likes. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe and turn those post notifications on because you don't want to miss a thing with the daily content. Starting it off, we got Darren Elkins versus Daniel Pineda. Mike Finch looking like Darren Elkins' doppelganger over here, man. Exact same eye positions. I'm picking the gritty Darren Elkins to win a decision. I think he can find a way. Elkins getting submitted seems kind of unlikely. Pineda's got a lot of submission wins. I don't think it's a high chance he knocks Elkins out. I can see Pineda fucking Elkins up in round 1, then losing 2 and 3 to just the relentless wrestling pressure and just absolute dog, half human, half, I don't fucking know, zombie Darren Elkins. Both guys are pit fighters, bro. They like to brawl. They go to war. This is not a technical showcase. Neither of these guys are winning technique competitions. They're dog fighters that are going to absolutely slug and bang for the entertainment of the fans. And we are very blessed to get to witness these styles because this is an OG clash. And I'm going to favor Elkins to win it in a gritty decision, man. What do you think, Finch? We getting a finish?
40 versus 39. I mean, you're talking about a guy in Daniel Pineda who finishes fights. He gets a lot of submissions. Darren Elkins, on the other hand, much more of a decision guy. Did find a choke against TJ Brown. That's pretty good. You know, but yeah, are we going long? Probably, you know, especially like this Daniel Pineda, like when you cross that, you know, what do they call it when your dog dies? Cross the rainbow bridge. When you start crossing that 37, 38 years old, his last finish was the guillotine against Tucker Lutz in 2023. It's last year. It's not bad, but 2 decision losses since then. You can imagine Darren Elkins wrestling, right? I mean,
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, right. It's like, it's pretty much like Daniel Pineda by like guillotine, or Darren Elkins out wrestles him. So, not the most bettable thing money line I've ever seen, but you know, I don't think Darren Elkins is a crazy pick here. Is Darren Elkins the dog?
Darren Elkins right now is plus 105, so close money dog.
Even money.
Yeah, pretty much. Elkins' only submission loss comes against Charles Oliveira as well. So he hasn't been submitted in years, man.
I'm kind of surprised I'm going Darren Elkins, but I could just imagine Darren Elkins, you know, popping his head out of that guillotine, winning rounds 2 and 3. But it would not be shocking to see Daniel Pineda make something happen here. Finch, man, I started betting from $100 and profited with Raw Dog for $2K profit. Good fucking job. Hey, Raw Dog is all AJ. All right. I had the fucking 5-leg. What was it? Parlay. And then I had the 7th parlay in a row. So if you want my parlays, you guys know I drop my bets on Telegram. But as far as Raw Dog goes, we got to give credit where credit's due. That's all AJ, dog.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. My guy, Harpreet. Thank you, homie. Congrats.
Nice.
I think that dog Darren Elkins can find a way to outgrit Daniel Pineda. Yeah, it's not, you know, it's not like oh shit, that's the lock of the century. But I think as far as how the fight plays out, it's going to be crazy. I think Pineda and him bang early on. I think Pineda throws hard punches in the first round. I think he can even do damage early. The thing about Daniel Pineda is he's never won a damn decision, bro. So I don't really feel like if we're finishing 3 hard rounds and it's a close fight that he's the one ending up on top. I could see Elkins out wrestling him.
I really did come here to pick Pineda.
Yeah?
Yeah. I saw he was 39. I was like, oh, yeah. He is 39. That's right. Because I know Darren Elkins is fucking, and the miles on him. I mean, not only is Darren Elkins 40, but I mean, that's 40 years of fucking work.
Yeah.
My man. Yeah. So I don't know. But, you know, Pineda being 39 as well, I guess will start falling off too. I don't know. I'll just be straight up. No bet.
No bet. Finch and I both picking the same side, though.
I will be betting on PFL this weekend, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be betting on PFL this weekend, dog.
All right. We'll talk some PFL at the end. Let's keep running. Let's get to our next fight. We have Brady Hiestand versus Jake Hadley. I'm going to be picking the side of Brady Hiestand to win. He's coming off a pretty nice win over a pretty gritty guy in Garrett Armfield, who at the time I was picking, man. I was riding the side of Armfield. Armfield had success in striking, but Hiestand, relentless grappling, man. And the dude just out-dogged him and got the rear naked. Fight before that, kind of similar. He got caught by Batgarel Dana. He got some damage done to him early, and then he ends up out-dogging him late. Brady Hiestand's definitely developing. Something I like about him is his recovery ability, but he does get hit a lot. And Jake Hadley's a pretty clean striker. Jake Hadley can also grapple pretty nice. It's just the wrestling advantage for Hiestand is something that stands out to me. And in positional scrambles, I think Hiestand's the one that more than likely ends up in the dominant position. And I guess I can't rely on Jake Hadley finding the chin of Hiestand and knocking him out. He might hurt him. He might knock him down, but I could see Hiestand then recovering and then grappling Hadley up a bit en route to winning a gritty and crazy 3-round fight where he has to overcome some adversity. So I'm going to pick Hiestand over Hadley, but I do think Hadley's boxing is better than Hiestand's striking for sure.
And Hadley just was able to jab and move left and move right against Loughran, but I think Loughran's the one who really fucked that fight up. I think Brady Hiestand is much more of a threat. I think Brady Hiestand does get to the body of Hadley, who makes it a little bit tough to get him. He's you know what I would call that? Slippery. He's slippery in there, man. He's hard to get a hold of, like grabbing the bar of soap. Oh shit, you know, you fucking drop it. But I think Hiestand makes it happen too. I definitely like Hiestand in this fight. Jake Hadley's just a lot smaller. He's not very dangerous as to where I could see Hiestand even, you know, catching a neck here, finding a way to beat him down from the top position. I think Brady Hiestand could bully a Jake Hadley here, and you know, he's coming into his own, man. He's 25 years old now. Holds Jake. Jake's 28, so Brady Hiestand starting to, you know, kind of get into his prime now. I think all of his best fights are ahead of him. You could say the same thing about Hadley, but sort of a man against boy matchup. I think Brady Hiestand can make it happen. You know, whether it be TKO or submission, I could honestly see him stopping a Jake Hadley too. Brady Hiestand probably looks good in this matchup.
He's a -150 favorite where Hadley is a +130 dog. Hiestand to win this fight inside of the distance sits at a line of upwards of, wow, +375. And if you like the sub for Hiestand, you got big plus money. You're sitting at +700. That's kind of crazy. I mean, I know Jake Hadley's got relatively good grappling defense, but there's a big advantage in wrestling, and there's a legit finisher in Hiestand who's relentless. Yeah. I like Hiestand's chances for inside distance, and I'm surprised the sub line is that wide.
You
Brady
just surprised me
Hiestand
with all
so
those
relentless, right? And he's a close money favorite. I really think a lot of people are looking at him getting hurt last time against Garrett Armfield and saying, oh, well, Armfield almost got him out of there. Hadley's a clean boxer. But how I look at it is Jake Hadley does have clean boxing, but when has he shown knockout power? When has he shown the explosiveness of Garrett Armfield? Garrett Armfield's a different type of matchup. Garrett Armfield's actually really fucking good.
Yeah,
I like Garrett Armfield. And I think that Brady Hiestand overcoming an absolute, terrible moment early in the fight speaks volumes to this dude's absolute savage mentality and gas tank, because I do think Hiestand is very well conditioned. You see it in his physique too. He's jacked. And like you said, he seems a lot bigger than Jake Hadley. Hadley, the former flyweight, you can say what you want. Oh, but he almost tapped out Cody Durden. Sure, he had good moments, but Durden is also a flyweight, and Hiestand is a full-size bantamweight. And I don't think it's crazy that if in 2027 Hiestand's forced to move up to 145 because the weight cut gets a little too much. He's a pretty big dude. Like, he's got a good frame on him.
Yeah, I'm not trying to underestimate Hadley either. I mean, I do like the side-to-side movement. I do like the jab. We did see, some, I use the word slippery, but, there's some evasiveness in his game that I do like. And the thing is, though, is he going to do damage? Like, is he going to hurt Hiestand? And I think Hiestand's the one doing the hurting here, man. So I think Hiestand's actually a nice money line at those odds.
I think Hiestand for the win, -150 range, the call for both of us. Outdogs a Jake Hadley, and I don't think it's a bad idea to look at the DGen bets if you're looking to chase some plus money and throw down on Hiestand inside distance a sub. Let's keep running. Next fight, featured fight, we have Sumudaerji versus Charles Johnson. Listen, Charles Johnson as of late has been on absolute fire, and I really think he's looking clean. Knockout of Joshua Van last time, which was really impressive. Sumudaerji actually has pretty nice striking, and he's good from distance. He closes the gap nicely. It's just really hittable. I have a strong worry about his defense. And he took some clean shots by Matt Schnell. Questionable submission game. If you look, all of the losses for Sumudaerji, all 6 of them are via submission. And Charles Johnson is no slouch in grappling. He's got 4 wins by submission to his own, right? So Charles Johnson with the surprise submission in this fight kind of jumped out because I'm like, Johnson's pretty strong. He's not a guy that is easy to out grapple. He's scrambly. I'm sure he can have striking success, but then potentially put Sumudaerji in a bad position and get him to the ground. Maybe if you're looking to chase something crazy. But if you're looking at a striking fight, I think Johnson's a bit cleaner. I think Johnson could have power to hurt Sumudaerji, though Sumudaerji's never been KO'd. He's been rocked in fights before. And I think Charles Johnson is just better. And I'm going with Charles Johnson to find a way.
I've never even thought about Charles Johnson submitting somebody, but I guess he's got a couple on his record. Look, in the UFC, he's been able to win some decisions, and he's been so active, AJ. I mean, Charles Johnson has to be the most active fighter. I don't know. I feel like I see him every fucking weekend. I mean, people gave Hamzat all the credit in the world. Let's get some credit to fucking Charles Johnson. My man fights all the time. So
3 fights this year. This is going to be 4.
So fourth fight this year, but go back further than that. I mean, how many in 2023? 1, 2, 3, 4 in 2023. 1, 2, 3 in 2022. 1, 2, 3. He's constantly active. And so I think that Charles Johnson is going to come in here with some momentum after, putting away Joshua Van. Remember, though, before that, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight decisions. And I could see that happening here. I mean, Sumudaerji, you submit him to beat him. This might be the first decision. With that being said, I mean, if you got some crazy plus money you're about to tell me about the submission, maybe I'll hear you out. But I think of Charles Johnson as a striker, a Muay Thai fighter, a guy who's going to keep it, pretty tight and technical, try to put Sumudaerji away, and they're going to fight fire with fire a little bit here. It's a cool matchup. Give me Charles Johnson. I think, if you have to compare the grappling, if it happens, Charles Johnson has the advantage there. But, striker strike, man. I think they're going to war.
Striker versus striker. Good fight. Sumudaerji good from distance, but more flawed in the defensive abilities. I think Johnson hits harder, and he's been way more active. So Charles Johnson, the pick for us both. He's a minus 210 favorite. The decision line is plus 210. So, I mean, maybe the decision's the money call. The exact same line, just add a plus in front of it, and you got Charles Johnson to win by decision at a pretty good tag. He's consistently doing it. The sub is plus 350. The KO is plus 700. Be interesting if Sumudaerji got chinned by Johnson, but I'd like the decision call. I see, not like a washout in striking, but mostly Johnson outlanding Sumudaerji. Sumudaerji, MMA Vulture said it. What's up, MMA Vulture? The damn puncher's chance, but at flyweight, Sumudaerji hasn't really shown death touch power. He's gotten a lot of decisions off, and I don't think that Johnson's getting chinned.
No, I don't think so either. Sumudaerji's got some pop for sure. But, if Johnson finds a submission, it's probably still a club and sub. Can you imagine he just goes out there straight Khabib, fucking wrestles him? Probably not, right? They're going to war. So Fun fight. I like the matchup. We're both doubling up on Charles Johnson, and we sound kind of confident.
We are. I think so. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, our co-main event of the evening, we have Rob Font versus Kyler Phillips. I love this fight because Kyler Phillips has really started to come into his own. And I think that he beats this version of Rob Font. The biggest gripe about Rob Font is he's relatively one-dimensional, very tight boxing, high guard striker, does have a nice jab, but I also think there's some evidence that he might potentially be slowing down a tad bit. And Kyler Phillips is coming off of the biggest win of his career, dominating Pedro Munoz for 3 rounds. And the question was answered because I was curious how Kyler Phillips' gas tank would look in that fight. And he still had nice bounce in round number 3. He was still very active with strikes. He has diverse punch and kick and knee and elbow combinations that he likes to throw. He has a good gas tank. He's young. He's in his prime. He's training at MMA Lab. To me, it just seems like Rob Font's going this way, Phillips is going that way, and it's time for Rob Font to get booted down a notch. And I think Phillips has always been good. I mean, he beat Song Yadong 5 fights ago, and then he lost to Paiva, but he dropped Paiva 3 times in the first round, which was a clear as day 10-8. And then he gassed and lost the second and third. But really, he should have had a draw in that fight if it was a just scorecard. That was no way not a 10-8 first round. So I don't even understand why they gave it to him as a loss. It should have been a draw. I remember freaking out about that when it happened. And I think that Kyler Phillips has gotten better since then, and that was a good learning experience. And I think he beats Rob Font.
Rob Font has one of the toughest schedules in the UFC. Can they do my guy Can Rob Font get a bounce back fight? I mean, even the knockout over Adrian Yanez, it was like, damn, they gave him Adrian Yanez and he passed the test. And look at all the losses. Davis and Figueiredo, you're getting taken down by the Brazilian. He did train with Henry Cejudo for that fight. Remember, Henry's got him wrestling. But Corey Sandhagen taking him down, holding him down. Marlon Chito Vera lost. Jose Aldo, he beats Cody Garbrandt, goes to a decision with Cody Garbrandt. You're kind of wanting a KO over Cody Garbrandt post, championship. Marlon Moraes, Ricky Simone. I mean, he fights a lot of good talent, and this is no exception. Kyler Phillips is a more well-rounded mixed martial artist than Rob Font. Rob Font can box with the best of them, but not much else, as to where Kyler Phillips is going to be able to kick him. He's going to be able to wrestle him. Kyler Phillips has just more to add to this fight. Rob Font is always a threat with the hands. And I want to give him credit because the guys fought the who's who, but you got to think Kyler Phillips finds a way here. So I'm assuming Kyler Phillips is the favorite. I actually haven't even looked, but I think Kyler Phillips finds a way, whether it be kicking the legs and striking with him, or whether it be hitting these takedowns, which let's be honest, that's the clear route. If anything's going fuzzy with Rob Font, you put him on his back.
That's a fair point. Yeah, I think that Kyler Phillips could surprise him with takedowns too. I think this is the Kyler Phillips fight. I think this is his showcase opportunity. It's a big name in Rob Font. It's a Kyler Phillips who's always shown a lot of promise and I think is come into his own now. And he's a minus 450 favorite against Rob Font. Font's plus 325. Can you believe the width of those odds, man? Do you agree with that?
No, I mean, I think Rob Font has fought such good competition. But there is an issue with the way he's been getting held down. So I understand him being the dog. So, I can't really fault them for trying to outprice him because maybe Kyler Phillips seems like too easy of a money line. They're going to make you parlay it if you want to make some money. And no, I think, for instance, Rob Font can potentially knock him out. I think Rob Font has ability with his hands. He's only, 36, 37? Rob Font's not as old as he looks. I mean, he looks bad. Let's be honest. Rob Font does not, it's, Kyler Phillips looked like he's doing shampoo commercials or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Rob Font, I don't want to say he's shaking a cup, but you know what I'm saying? It's not good. It's not good. Okay. But Rob Font is dangerous with his hands. So 4-1's a little wide for me. It could be parlayable. Maybe.
Phillips for the W. Pick for Finch and I both. A decision for him sits at minus 140.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out how this thing ends because Rob Font, although he gets taken down, he does kind of stall you out. He's kind of hard to finish. So does Kyler Phillips finish him or not? That's kind of where the question's at for me.
Yeah, respect. Listen, we're both going Phillips for the W, the chalky favorite, but he's a confident pick. Let's run it up to our main event of the evening. If you guys are watching and you haven't, make sure you guys smash that damn like button. We see hella live viewers up in here. We want to say thank you to all of the loyal subscribers tuning in each and every show. If you're new, lock it in, bro. It's worth it. Subscribe to the channel. You won't be disappointed. We have Michel Pereira versus Alexander Hernandez going down in a sick main event. Finch, man, I'm picking the side of Michel Pereira. I think that he has the death touch at 185. He's been looking so damn good. Now, we haven't had a lot of time in the octagon for him lately. He's been running everybody over. For Hernandez, though, we've seen a lot of footage from him at 185 doing his thing. And what we can say, tough dude, right? Okay boxing style, more the high guard throwing big shots, looking to bang, but he's very confident to throw hard because he does have an extremely efficient jiu-jitsu base. Now, the question mark is, does Michel Pereira have the grappling defense to deal with Hernandez? I feel as though, yes, he's in great physical condition. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He trains at Extreme Couture. And I feel as though Michel Pereira's jump to 185 happened at the perfect time, because I truly feel as though now he's hit his prime. Michel Pereira is a guy that just has kind of an old face. So I think when you were looking at his run at 170 pre-185 in the UFC, people forget that he was in his 20s then when he was doing that, right? He's 31 now. He's truly a primed fighter. And at middleweight, I think that he's on the way up, and I really believe in his power. Hernandez has a vulnerability, I believe, in his body. He's not a guy that's super physically fit. And Kevin Holland, the last guy to beat Hernandez, hurt him with body shots. Pereira has been doing a lot of damage to people's bodies. This seems kind of like the antithesis matchup for Hernandez, a guy who's really athletic, good grappling defense, crazy power, and good, I would say, as much as people will shit on, I think a good striking fight IQ. Yes, Pereira earlier in his UFC run at times fought like a moron, but now I really think he's leveled up. And I feel as though, I mean, I know he did the backflip with Polteria and stuff, but I feel as though unless he knows for a fact you're on your way out, he's not doing too much reckless, crazy shit. He gets it done with quality. And I think that Michel Pereira can knock Hernandez out in this fight.
How is Michel Pereira dog money? When I saw that he was a dog, I bet on him because so when I went and trained with Jocelyn Edwards, I did more that day. Patchy Mix taught me the Patchy Mix guillotine. Got it in my phone. Still haven't released it. Maybe I should drop that on my channel. I saw Michel Pereira. He was hitting mitts in the cage. He looked like a heavyweight. He is huge. I thought, how the fuck did that guy ever make 170? He is a big 185er. Remember, he fought big boy Petrosky, and Petrosky said, oh shit, I can't move this guy at all. So Michel Pereira is a freak athlete. And he's really coming to his own, and we've seen him finishing people in the first round. So I don't believe in Hernandez's striking. I don't believe in Hernandez's complete wrestling game. His jiu-jitsu is pretty damn good, and he's been putting it together with some solid takedowns. But remember, he was getting his ass kicked by Rodolfo Vieira and then turned it around, right? Remember, he's got wins over guys like Josh Fremd, and what was the last fight? Why am I blanking? He just beat a Roman Kopylov. Roman Kopylov win was nice. I mean, we got to give credit where credit's due. I'm a Roman Kopylov fan. I've made plenty of money betting on Roman Kopylov, but he got it done there. This is not Roman Kopylov. I believe in the explosive ability of Pereira. The one area where you could see Hernandez maybe making something happen is late. I think in rounds 3, 4, 5, that's where you could see Hernandez using his toughness. Again, we saw it against Rodolfo Vieira, weathering a storm and coming back. So if you wanted to go crazy and bet on Hernandez, he's probably pulling something out against a gassed Michel Pereira. However you capitalize on betting on that, you could look at. My pick is Michel Pereira. I do think he gets him out of there. I do think this thing ends in the first 2 rounds, and I think Pereira is in something of a prime right now, man. So Poetan's not the only Pereira in the game right now. This Pereira is a problem too. Man, did he smoke? Who's the striker who knocked out Shogun and taunted him? Igor Potieria. Whoa. That fight is free on YouTube. Watch that fight back. Have you seen a fucking ass whooping like that? I haven't seen an ass whooping like that in a minute, man. He took a backflip over the body and then put him away. That type of shit is just something that Hernandez is not capable of. With that being said, if Hernandez could just stay patient, weather the storm, keep trying to grapple, maybe he does get 3, 4, 5. It's still a fight. There's no reason that Michel Pereira should have been a big favorite or anything. But I thought close odds are 2-1. To see him at dog money, it was way too, it's way too attractive. So I like the line here and I like the dog. Give me Michel Pereira, and I think he finishes him.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Michel Pereira finish to get it done, violent fashion, and I think we're gonna see a quality performance, man. Plus 115 for him to get it done, and I think that there's a good chance of Pereira finishing that thing. Plus 115, probably under 2.5, which is minus 135. I do think first 2 rounds, Pereira by KO sits at plus 175. I think that's rather likely, man.
What's plus 175?
The KO line.
Yeah. Right? Not that Hernandez is easy to put out.
Yeah.
But I really I'm really impressed, and he's not. This is one of those move ups that really worked. Like he really was able to just fill out and be his natural self. Don't deplete yourself always. Like he doesn't have a problem with takedown defense that I've seen. So not now, not in 2024. So that's what Hernandez needs to rely on. I think Hernandez needs to take him down. And I think he'll have a lot of trouble, and he's at a serious speed disadvantage, explosiveness disadvantage, kicking disadvantage. I like Pereira on the feet, and he's a fucking berserker, man. I'm an Alex Hernandez, or excuse me, Anthony, Jesus,
yeah,
Hernandez believer, but Michel Pereira, I think KO.
I think Michel Pereira KO, man. I think he's on fire. I think it's a hard matchup for Hernandez. The body shots are live. I think that the explosive striking of Pereira is a problem. His competency in grappling is going to make him defensively sound against a Hernandez. Hernandez has nice jiu-jitsu, but he's not the most athletic guy in the game. He's not a high caliber wrestler. He usually is out-dogging people, but let's not forget he's getting hurt by Edmund Shabazi and he's getting hurt by Roman Kopylov. Pereira's got a lot more power than that. And Pereira hits you, you normally go down.
And remember, I mean, both of these guys are 30 and 31. You look at the record of Pereira and you're like, oh man, he's got 40 fights or whatever, but he's only 31. I think he's in his prime right now. And I think it's going to be really, really tough to be in there with him as long as he's a little bit patient. Give me a little bit of patience, because the other Pereira, he has a certain amount of patience. He's always kind of wound up, looks like he's about to explode. If he has that, I think he'll find a way, man. To reiterate, the one way I see Hernandez is with a gas Pereira, and let's say Michel knows better.
Michel knows better, and he gets Hernandez out of there. I'm expecting body work to be on display. I'm expecting a violent UFC main event that ends in a vicious knockout. But that's not the only main event of the weekend that's worth tuning into. PFL has the Francis Ngannou main event. He's taken on Renan Ferreira in what should be a pretty interesting fight, especially due to the fact that Ngannou has not fought MMA since 2022. It's been a really long time since Francis Ngannou has fought in a cage. Now, he went the distance with Tyson Fury in one of the best performances a debut boxer could ever hope for. Following that, he was viciously knocked out by Anthony Joshua. And I have to say, we had never seen Ngannou put away before. There's a little worry that I have of an Ngannou chin starting to fade in his later years of the fighting career. And now you throw him a 6'8", 85-inch reach Brazilian monster who, since Ngannou's last fight, has fought not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, but 8 times since Ngannou's last fight. And he is currently riding a really impressive 4-fight win streak. and he's got nice knockouts over relatively good names. A KO of Ryan Bader in just 21 seconds. And Bader was still controlling the Bellator heavyweight division. Say what you want about him at heavyweight. He still was doing well up in their heavyweight class, and he ran him over with ease. He beat Dennis Goltsov, who I think is a rather talented heavyweight in MMA, by knockout for the PFL title in 2023. Of course, a Maurice Green win's not as impressive. He knocked out Matthias Scheffel in 50 seconds, and his most recent loss was actually a decision loss to Rivzan Kuniev, who just looked like a savage on the Contender Series, and that fight was overturned to a no contest because Kuniev tested positive for like 5 steroids. And, Ferreira's game. He's crafty. He's improving. He's in his prime. I don't think this is a complete washout fight. Francis Ngannou has never faced someone like Renan Ferreira in his entire MMA career. When you look, yes, legendary fights, right? He's beaten the likes of MMA legends such as Cain Velasquez, Junior Dos Santos, Alistair Overeem, Stipe Miocic, good up-and-comer, or rather good top-near level guys like Cyril Gane. He beat by a decision, but let's not forget he was getting outstruck in that fight and had to rely on the wrestling. I guess where I'm going with this, if the striking is going sideways with Renan Ferreira, I'm not overly confident that Francis Ngannou can out-wrestle Ferreira. Now, add on top of this all that Ferreira has been incredibly active since Francis Ngannou has done just 2 fights. And yes, they've been boxing fights, which is a different sport. And I don't know, man. He's made that life-changing money similar to what Conor McGregor had made, but McGregor didn't get flatline KO'd in 2 rounds in a second boxing fight. And to now come back and take on one of the most underrated heavyweights in the world, I think the UFC made a mistake not signing Renan Ferreira. Renan Ferreira is a really good heavyweight, and he 100% can compete within the UFC's top 15. The guys that give Ferreira his biggest problems, wrestlers, good jiu-jitsu fighters, guys with top control that are just blanketing him. And he's also taking those losses under a tournament format where you're fighting in suboptimal circumstance, having to turn around and fight all the time, and I'm sure through injuries. And now you take on Ngannou full camp. And Ngannou, who recently lost in boxing, I have this weird feeling that Renan Ferreira is going to chin Francis Ngannou this Saturday, Mike Finch, and end his MMA career. I have a very weird feeling, brother. I'm seeing the possibility. Renan Ferreira hits really hard. Francis Ngannou's chin just got cracked. I know he's got God caliber power, but this dude might be the matchup that always has given Francis Ngannou trouble, because when have we seen Francis Ngannou fight somebody that has a heightened reach advantage like this against him? We haven't.
It's a solid point. Everything you just said was, completely on point. It's hard to go from boxing over to MMA. And did AJ mention that Francis Ngannou is the favorite? So, yeah, folks, this is an interesting one to look at. I will break this one down further, but may I remind the folks at home, you've got Chris Cyborg versus Larissa Pacheco. Chris Cyborg at dog money against Larissa Pacheco, the Kayla Harrison Slayer. You've got Johnny Diamond Hands Eblin versus Fabian Edwards. Again, Johnny Eblin, the fucking champ, the man. AJ McKee, one of the Bellator greats, fighting Paul Hughes, an Irishman. You've got Super Stotts against Marcus Breno. I mean, there are a lot of cool fights on this card, plenty of them. Now that I'm not working for Bellator, I'll be happy to bet on. So very bettable PFL card. I'll definitely be mixing that one in to my bets on the free channel and the premium channel this week. I'll keep tight-lipped right now, but I will agree with your assessment and say that, there's definitely I'm almost more excited to bet on the PFL card this week than the UFC card. I don't think I've ever said that before.
No, I don't think you have either. That's interesting. That's a valid point too. We'll see what happens, Finch.
Now that I just broke down the whole UFC card, I was like, what the fuck? Let's do the PFL card. I'm about to do my most confident picks, my 5 most confident picks. I might just throw a fucking PFL pick in there. How about that, folks? I'll see you in a few minutes. AJ, do you want to do your parlay or lock? Do you feel?
I mean, I have an early parlay that I'll do, but the parlay segment on Wednesday is where I really cook. This right here is kind of just the early thoughts if you got to lock something in early. So I will do it though. So let's jump to it. Let's jump to parlays. We got to sing the song.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time. Open up your wallets and let's bet on some fist fights.
Yeah. Parlay time. It's the rap version. Parlay time, and we rapping. So we're gonna bet on the dog Pereira, and he's not Alex, but he's gonna deliver the KO. Listen, folks, on this card, you've got a couple of minus 400 favorites that we like. Maybe those are parlays. You got a couple how many dogs did I pick on this card? There are plenty of straight money lines to play. I'm interested to see what AJ puts together.
So this is a very early lean parlay, which I considered before the show, and I think it makes sense. I think you ride with Charles Johnson, Kyler Phillips for about minus 120. That seems rather likely, but I'm not going to bore you guys on this show with just a minus tag. I also think there is a pretty damn good chance that Almabayev and Nicolau goes to the later stages. So instead of even throwing a money line down at minus 285, you add in the side of that fight going over 2.5. You get a plus 149 play for the big three. So Johnson, Phillips over in the Almabayev and Nicolau fight probably should hit.
Interesting. Wow, you very rarely do under overs for the parlay. That's very interesting.
I did it last week too, though, with the ladies early on.
Right.
So
that's right.
I'm bringing the fire. I'm keeping it up.
I mean, we got plenty of ladies fights on this card to choose from.
Too many.
Go ahead, man. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Let's go.
All right. I have to do some odd searching. Yeah. So now it's time to open up that page. I'll open up that tab, dig in a little bit. But yeah, there's definitely some under overs to look at this card for sure. I wish they dropped the props a little earlier. That'd be nice. Wouldn't that be nice?
You got a good amount out right now.
Yeah. All right. I'll check those out too. I'll be dropping my 5 most confident picks. That'll be on my channel right after this. And I'll make sure to get you guys some bets in the free channel and my 5 favorite bets in the premium. And then I'm adding my wild card in. The wild card just hit this past week over plus 400. We're fucking going for it again, folks. I hope you love Moneyline. We're going to not be on Monday next week because AJ's go on.
Be out of town, man. And then it's my
AJ's
girlfriend's birthday the Monday too, man. So I'm just going to enjoy it with her. I'll take that Monday off. It'd be nice.
AJ will be on the campaign trail with Donald Trump. So we're going to have to go ahead and postpone the show until I think we decided on Thursday.
So we're back to the OG spot next week with a Thursday money line. And I think the anticipation is going to build nicely all week for the show. It'll be a banger.
It'll be a banger, folks. You will see us next. Is that the pay-per-view?
That's the pay-per-view, 308. Yeah.
Oh, bro. Oh, that's going to be nice.
Yeah.
We will see you for the pay-per-view card next Thursday. Do we have to say more? I don't think so.
Go run over to the Finchman's channel. I got it linked up in the chat. I'm pinning it as we speak. Make sure to follow the boy and check out his most confident picks. Let's see what the Mystic Mac is cooking. I'm looking forward to it. Finch, thanks for being here. People, thanks for tuning in. W's to everybody in the chat. I appreciate you all. And me and Finch bring the fire. Once a week, every Monday normally, but next week, Thursday. Make sure you write it down. Put it in your calendars, everybody. Hey, thanks, guys. We'll see you soon. Peace out. Have a good night. Bye-bye.